Howdy folks, this is the Snipe here, and apparently Fire Emblem Fates is getting censored. So we already dealt with it with Fatal Frame Made in the Black Water. We dealt with it with Xenoblade X, but now Fire Emblem Fates is getting censored, and people are going to blame the SJWs. And you know what, that might actually be the case. But here's something that kind of pissed me off. I was watching Mundane Nat's video on this, and he was just trying to say, oh, this is not the way to make money, Nintendo. Do you understand exactly how localization even works? Because there's content that sometimes happens within within one country that is deemed okay in their country, and in another country it might not be so okay. And sometimes references that are within that culture just goes over our heads altogether. So with localization, they try to make it appealing for that particular country. So they got like perfect example of a Western localization would be like the Phoenix Wright games. There's a whole bunch of Japanese references that like pretty much would make no sense to us or little sense to us. So they changed it and put in a whole bunch of Western references instead. Now, I, for one, am completely against censorship. I fucking loathe censorship. But here's the thing. It really fucking pissed me off when people in the comments section of this Mundane Matt video were like, oh, I'm gonna boycott Fire Emblem Fates. They just lost my money. Dude, stop fucking trolling. Stop bitching about it. Okay? If you're not going to buy it, don't buy it, but don't throw a stink over it. And if you're going to boycott and try to call for a boycott for a Japanese game that really no one knew about until, about 15 years after the game even came out, because we didn't even hear about Fire Emblem until the GameCube happened with Super Smash Bros. Because Fire Emblem was going on since the NES times. And we finally got the 7th installment. That's how far it took for us to get into Fire Emblem. Okay? They didn't need us then. They don't need us now, in my opinion. And if you're going to boycott, don't be surprised if Fire Emblem goes back to Japan and never comes back, because we're apparently throwing our tantrums and we can't appreciate them actually trying to give us a little bit of their culture, even if localization has to change it a little bit to meet any ESRB requirements or to try to not offend people, because, Japanese culture can be a little bit different. And one thing you have to understand about Japan is all about respect. And they are trying really hard to respect us. And we are not showing the same amount of respect. Okay? SJWs, yeah, they're not helping. They're praising this censorship. And I find it fucking stupid that they're doing this. But you know what? The other side, the opposition, bitching about it and trying to supposedly boycott because of this, that's not going to help either. Okay? Video games have made strides when it comes to pushing boundaries and, having us having us challenge our own interpretation of culture. You got games like the Project Diva series, which actually, talking about petting games, there's a mini game in here where you interact with the other Vocaloid characters, including Hatsune Miku, and yeah, you pet them. You play around with them. You play games with them. Yeah, it probably challenged some people. People might found it a little bit weird, but you know what? I'm glad that this got released. Corpse Party, really fucked up. I'm surprised that this game even made it here. I mean, aside from the violence, there's a lot of suggestive shit that's surprised the hell out of me that it was here. But it made it here. Senran Kagura, and its fan servicing glory, made it here. Persona 2, as controversial this game was, it was initially pulled when it came out for the PlayStation 1. We got it for the PS Portable. Yeah, they censored it. They took Hitler out of the game. I mean, well, they changed his name and, fixed him up a little bit, so it wasn't completely a Hitler, I guess. But the thing is that they're trying to meet us halfway, okay? And if we're not going to show them the same amount of respect and calling for boycotts, maybe we don't deserve Japanese games. Maybe all you people that are just going to boycott this shit should just get down on your hands and knees and pray to your Western gods of Ubisoft, of Activision, of EA, of Take-Two, and pray for, them to fill the void, because obviously these games aren't doing it for you, And you claim to be fans. And you're willing to leave them like that over something so minute as a minigame that all it does is just add one little extra, pinch of basil to the experience. Fire Emblem should be nothing more than a game that relies on storyline and tactical role-playing as its selling point. Not the extra minigames, okay? I mean, yeah, minigames are fun. Final Fantasy VII had a lot of fun minigames in it. In some cases, you could argue that, some people probably liked the triple triad in Final Fantasy VIII. I'm trying to think of other minigames aside from games that were Final Fantasy. The Misadventures of Tron Bonne had some pretty cool minigames in it, But the thing is that this is Nintendo we're talking about. This isn't Sega. This isn't Atlas. This isn't Xseed. This isn't Marvelous. This isn't Nippon Ichi. This is motherfucking Nintendo. This is the same group that brought you your childhood heroes since you've been kids. Mario, Link, Zelda, Pikachu, okay? Samus Aran, Fox McCloud, motherfucking Captain Falcon, okay? This is Nintendo we're talking about. They were always careful with their localization. Sometimes to the point where games just wouldn't even get released because of it. Look at Devil World. Devil World never made it here because of the religious imagery. Earthbound got heavily censored over a lot of shit. Yeah, it sucks that it did, and you know what? I would love to play an uncensored version of Earthbound, but I'm glad that we got Earthbound at all. Okay? And it didn't do well. And we didn't get Earthbound again until it came out on the Wii U for $10 as a digital game. Okay? And that was, almost 20 years later. 20 years! Okay? This is what could happen to Fire Emblem if you decide to boycott a game because you are so butthurt over a minigame. Okay? Same thing could happen with Xenoblade X. If they're like, well, it's not going to sell, we're just going to keep it in Japan. I mean, look at what's going on with DOA Extreme 3. And yeah, I'm going to buy it, I mean, it's okay to me. My wife likes it more than I do. But it doesn't change the fact that can happen to Fire Emblem. That they see, well, there's not much of a market in it because they're just giving it so much negative publicity. That's not what Nintendo is about. And Nintendo just lost their CEO last year. Okay? Satoru Iwata died. They had to get a new guy. Okay? And he's starting fresh. And a lot of eyes are glued to him on what he's going to do. Okay? So, yeah, this is a very important, pivotal moment for Nintendo's history on what they're going to do, picking themselves off the ground after such a catastrophic blow hit them last year. Okay? So cut them a little fucking slack. Okay? Is that too much to ask? Huh? I mean, is that seriously too much to ask? Okay? So why don't you calm your tantrums over minute shit like this? And just be grateful for what you're fucking getting. Okay? So, just fucking calm down, relax, and just wait and see what the game is all about before you pass judgment on something like this. Anyway, that's all I got for today. This is the Snipe, and I'll see you guys next time. And by the way, I'm actually recording this the day I found out that Bret Hart actually came out opening that he is fighting prostate cancer. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. And you know what, Hitman, you're going to fight this. You're going to kick cancer's ass, and you're going to be awesome when you do it. So stay strong, stay fighting, man. Anyway, this is the Snipe. Peace out, guys. Till next time, folks.